Donald Trump's rally at Madison Square Garden comes days after his own former chief of staff went on record to describe his former boss as a fascist. But that jamboree happening right now, you see it there on your screen, in that place is particularly chilling because in 1939, more than 20,000 supporters of a different fascist leader, Adolf Hitler, packed the garden for a so-called pro-America rally. A rally where speakers voiced anti-Semitic rhetoric from a stage draped with Nazi banners. When a Jewish protester rushed the stage, the Associated Press reported, quote, instantly, a dozen or more stormtroopers set upon him, knocking him down and beating him as he held his head in his arms. Most of his clothing was torn from his body. Later, he was booked for disorderly conduct. Now, against that backdrop of history, Donald Trump, the man who has threatened to use the military against opponents he calls enemies from within, who has threatened to use the troops to quell what he says are lawless cities, and to use those troops to carry out mass deportations of immigrants, is once again turning Madison Square Garden into a staging ground for extremism.
That was a lot. That was a lot to take in. And it just shows how MSNBC is so one-sided. It's pro-Kamala and Democrats. They will do anything, even if it means tarnishing. They've been tarnishing President Trump's name for a long time now. But even if it means to lose their license, they will do it. Shame on MSNBC and shame on Kamala Harris. I will say this again and again. So I decided to do my own research and went to Google. We know Google is also on their side, but I did my best. So I went to Google and typed in how many Democrat presidents held rally at Madison Square. I was just curious because I was trying to find out. And all I saw was President Trump, President Trump. You can click the other columns, same President Trump, but I didn't give in until I came across Madison Square Garden. I think this is their website, and they have a little bit of history there, not too much. And I kept on looking and I came across New York Spaces, History of Madison Square. I am not going to read this, guys. You will have to go to this site yourself, New York Spaces, and read the whole thing yourself if you want to know the history of Madison Square Garden. So to sum this up, Madison Square Garden has been rebuilt 4 times. The first building was in 1879 to 1890. The second Madison Square Garden was built in 1890 to 1925. The third, where the Nazi protest occurred or happened or held, was built in 1925 to 1968. In 1925, the saga of Madison Square Garden unfolded. It relocated uptown to the junction of 8th Avenue and 50th Street. Remember that street or the location, because we want to know if it's the same location that President Trump held his rally. The fourth and the current Madison Square Garden, where President Trump held his rally, is located between 7th and 8th. It's located between the 7th and the 8th Avenues from 31st Street to 33rd or 33rd Street, above Pennsylvania Station. Madison Square Garden has been the site of 4 Democratic National Convention. 4 Democrats and 1 Republican National Convention. President Trump's makes it 2. Were they criticized? I want to know. I'm curious, okay? Pope John Paul II, Pope Francis, Marilyn Monroe, J.F. Kennedy, Frank Sinatra, all these people have been to the same place. I just want to know if they were criticized. Anyway, guys, I urge you to go to these 2 sites, Madison Square Garden site and New York Spaces site, and knowledge yourself, okay? Have some knowledge, read some history. I hope you guys liked the video. I hope you do share, comment, And I also want to say thank you to my returning subscribers. Mr. Chairman, thank you so much. Anyway, guys, see you in my next video. I'll see you in my next video. Thank you guys for watching.